Wayne, it seems like the primary target that most investors are looking for is cash flow.
Yeah.
Cash flow, cash flow, cash flow. Not saying that it's the all end all, but for the most part, that usually leads an investor decision, and they quickly want to know whether a property will cash flow or not, and that will lead them to moving forward or stepping away from that purchase. Is there any areas that you recommend or that you look for that do cash flow?
In Edmonton specifically? Yeah, I mean, it's hard to be general like that or generic like that and just say, oh, only this area, because it's going to really depend on the property types in those areas. There's 5 different asset types that you could be investing in. So you really need to know your markets, your market and your neighborhoods inside and out. But when it comes to Edmonton specifically, there are some cheat codes available out there. Like, okay, if you stay in that area, you're pretty good. I would say in the west end of Edmonton, kind of near that 178th Street, just below the West Edmonton Mall, there's some really good opportunities in there. And then even just west of that, west of the West Edmonton Mall. Additionally, north of the West Edmonton Mall as well, in that West End pocket. Just West End. You know what I mean? Like, I hate being so generic like that. There are some caveats, but on top of the West End, Northeast is always going to have really good cash flow. The houses are a lot more affordable, and the rents seem to kind of remain the same as other areas in the city. So you can get some really good deals in those C's and D areas. Cash flow is going to be fantastic, but you have to consider the fact that you are going to probably maybe not get the best tenant profile, but it's kind of it's a balance thing. You know what I mean? Like, what's most important to you? And then the last thing I'll say is southeast. Not southeast below the Henday or below Ellerslie, but more southeast like Mill Woods. Mill Woods, there's some really good prices in there. You can get a really good C-class tenant profile. Perfect for rental properties.
Fantastic. So, Wayne, we had Tom the listener actually message us this morning.
Tom the listener.
And he knew that we were meeting today, and he actually wanted to ask a question. And he wanted to know, Wayne, where do you find the stinky properties? Because on your podcast, numerous times you've mentioned that it smells like money when you walk in. And I think he knows what you're referencing. So where do you find the stinky properties?
You can find a stinky property in an A-class neighborhood. I mean, it really just comes down to the individual, right?
Okay.
I mean, it's really hard. It's funny. Sometimes I'm always surprised when I walk through neighborhoods, or I'll drive past the same house every day in my own neighborhood, and then you just assume from the outside it looks like a normal house. But then randomly you see a for sale sign go up and you go walk inside of it, and it's just absolutely trash, garbage to the ceiling, cigarette smoke and all the feces and cigarette burns and that type of stuff. So you really don't know. I mean, that house across from us could be in really great shape, or maybe it could be in really bad shape. Right. Generally speaking, I would say it's less probable in an A area and more probable in a D area. You know what I mean? Maybe that could be bad tenants who trash the place, or maybe just irresponsible owners. But I would say it's more probable in a D and C area than it is in an A area.
Okay.